RSL Nation! Welcome back.
Hi.
Hola, senores y señores.
Good evening. Actually, good day or good anything wherever you are. Welcome. It's been a minute. In fact, I think we recorded early last week.
We
right?
did. So it's felt longer.
Yeah, it's felt a little bit longer. Plus 2 games in between. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
But I do want to say one thing real quick before we forget. By the time everyone's listening to this, please say happy birthday to Marcos. Marcos, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Mr.
Happy
President.
birthday to you. I'm not sexy like Marilyn.
That
Happy birthday to you.
was great. I loved
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Last year in my 20s, so I gotta appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Make it good. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but
We'll go out with a bang. Boom.
happy birthday. We
Grazie, grazie. Thank you, everybody.
um since it's been a minute, guys. I don't want to ask how everything's going because there's just too much going on. So we're just gonna break down. This is what's gonna go on tonight. We're gonna talk about the 2 games because we have to. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna talk about the 2 games. After the 2 games, this is where it's gonna get a little funky. I want to get into some MLS news. And I'm pretty sure you guys do as well because you guys told me. The MLS awards. Does RSL have any candidates? The 22 under 22, which I think that was pretty fiery.
That was.
We have some Instagram questions that we do want to go over.
That's right. That's right.
We want to tell you what is going down this week in MLS because there's still some floater games
There's two
that,
games.
that
Two
affect
games.
us. One of them affects us.
Big
And
time.
the other one, not much.
Not much. And then if there's any time, if we're not bored already, then we'll get into some maybe international soccer since it's the FIFA break.
Yeah. How nice of them for Argentina to have a game on my birthday.
That's great.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's just get into it, guys. Marcos, get us into this. Actually, maybe not Marcos, because Marcos, you weren't at the game. I'm gonna ask Christian to get us into this Minnesota game. Then
don't get me started on missing out on another partido.
yeah, exactly. That's when I'm gonna leave you out in this one. Christian.
And you missed out on tacos, but that's another discussion.
Oh, there was tacos. Actually, I think the game before that I worked, they had arepas up across from the media room, bro.
It's okay. It's okay. Come next Saturday, we'll have something even better. I don't
All-
know.
All three of us will be there.
I don't know how you can beat tacos.
What? All three of us? This is a rare occasion, folks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in my same spot as always. But Christian, bring us into this Minnesota game.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what a frustrating game to watch. I mean, the first half,
frustrating was like maybe the best word we can think of without using any kind of profanity.
So frustrating. I mean the pace set off by the team. 3 first half yellow cards for Minnesota fall in Brian Vera, who's a topic of discussion for tonight, getting another yellow card. RSL had 2 massive chances and couldn't convert anything. I mean, defensively, it was actually some of the best defending we've seen out of RSL this year. The best performance I think we've seen out of Zach McMath this year. And we just couldn't find it on the offensive half. I mean, you take a look at our initial lineup, you'd think it'd be pretty good. Chicho up top with an interesting top 4. It was our 7th different top 4 within the past 8 games.
Wow.
So yeah, Chicho up top, followed with Diogo Gonçalves on the left-hand side, Matt Crooks in the middle, and Dominic Marchuk on the right-hand side. I thought out of that front 4, the thing that surprised me the most was Diogo on the left-hand side. That was interesting to me. I mean, Matt Crooks was solid right there on in that 10 spot. He's very comfortable there, and he's been playing his heart out in that spot. I've been a huge fan of his play in that spot lately. And then Dominic, it's his natural position. He did all right.
Mhm.
He's young. He has room to grow, and it showed. But
Yeah,
yeah.
this game. Look, I took my kids to the game because I was like, all right, finally, I'm going to take both my oldest kids. Um, Look, these are the words of my son. Halfway through the game and after the game, and this is like his best Spanglish because now he's doing Spanglish. It's the
Oh
weirdest thing.
boy. Oh boy.
Um, he says, "Papá, esto fue lo peor. Esto fue lo peor que he visto." And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, this reminds me of 0-0 Columbus. If you guys remember,
Ooh.
if you guys
Yep.
remember that game in
Yep.
April, yeah, he went to that game as well. He was like, this
What a
is the
memory.
worst game, dude. He's turned into like Rain Man with these results. Um, he said this is the worst we've played since I saw the game against Columbus. Granted, thank heavens he hasn't been to any of the other games where we've played even worse. But
Right. Right.
um, for my kid, 6 years old, to say RSL is playing horrible. Granted, I know he likes goals. That's probably why he said it. But the team wasn't playing well at all.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I obviously I didn't go to the game. I didn't start watching the match until about the 60th minute when I came home from reffing my game, which the game that I reffed that night, in case you guys were curious, was also boring. Um, but yeah, nothing was happening. I think once RSL got to the final third, I think I saw at one part Luna got the ball, he just lost it. Passes weren't coming together, communication was lacking, and I'm trying to remember if at that point, yeah, Chicho obviously he played the full 90, but from what I saw from the last 30 minutes, Chicho was MIA. He was nowhere to be found. I'm like we finally have him back from suspension, finally back from injury, but is he gonna actually help contribute and help out Crooks or Diogo? Not at all. So it was just very much of our back line just trying to hold it together to keep that clean sheet.
Do you know what, for me, Crooks and Dominic had the better of the game out of the front four.
Mhm.
Um, they're the ones that were feeding the ball to Chicho. Chicho had 4 shots overall, but
Yeah,
and one chance created. He had a 0.58 xG, which is not bad. Um,
not good.
not I mean it's not a goal. 0.71 expected goals. So the X got that's what they have it listed as. But what really surprises me and kind of upsets me is the fact that Chicho was only 7 for 13 on passes, 90 plus minutes, and you get
Hmm.
7 completed passes.
Yeah, that I was gonna mention that as well. That was really head scratching, frustrated because you have your captain of your team who's back fully healthy, so there's no excuses to be making. But not that should not be happening. Player that stood out to me, probably for the entire game, but for the last 30 minutes, that was dog mentality. That not just this game, but the past couple games. Quinton. Quinton
Oh,
has deserved. He's been fighting ever since we've gotten brought on Javane Brown, but he's proven that he deserves that start over Javane.
We might actually have to have that conversation of Quinton over Vera. I mean, let's remember that at the end of both these games because that's a discussion I want to ask you guys. But this game just didn't have anything. Even with we did a triple sub in the 61st minute.
And
Um,
I was gonna mention that with that triple sub that we brought on the 61st minute, I think one for me that was a little bit of a surprise was that the fact that we had Brody get the start and not Kataranis. Because we see how much of a dog Kataranis is hustling up on the outside back spot, helping out usually Luna or whoever is playing that left mid, but it was Brody here, and Brody just didn't really bring it in
I
this
think
one.
I know why.
ooh, bring it on! Give us
It's because Katranis is a dog. He's more prone to get yellow cards, and I don't think that um Pablo
You
wanted to risk him missing out on the San Jose game, which arguably was a more important game to win.
Now,
yeah.
but how about this? This was Brody's second game in a row starting. He started against Austin too. Um,
That one
I
was weird.
so I guess I didn't keep track of price. Someone is going to correct us for this. I don't know if you guys have it, but was Catranes wasn't on yellow card warning, was he?
Two away.
Two away. If that's right, then why not? Exactly, going back to your point, Marcos. Why not start him then? I mean, if Christian, if you're talking about maybe not putting up him against Minnesota, I would think that the game against Minnesota would have been a one that was more. We needed to win that one more than the one against San Jose. Not in terms of like win, but like we are more prone to lose the Minnesota game than we were the San Jose game, technically on paper.
Yeah.
The way I saw Pablo go into the Minnesota game, it was honestly kind of playing for a tie because I think he was banking on getting the tie there. Then we can get an easy 3 points at San Jose and secure top 4 spot.
Yeah.
It was
So
a lot of gambling being done, which not a fan of. But again, this is hypothetical. I could be completely wrong.
right.
Pablo could listen to this and be like, no, that's not what I was going for. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right?
no, for sure. It's the salad reality if that's actually the case, but mindset wasn't there, the urgency wasn't there at all in this game, and you would think that would be the case in a home game with your second to last home game of the season there, but not at all. And Minnesota playing five in the back was of course playing for that draw because right now they're kind of fighting Portland for that home field advantage for that wild card match.
Which that will be a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
These last couple games are going to be pretty legit. But I don't know. I'm still stuck on this. Like, yes, we can celebrate like right now. Without moving too far ahead to the San Jose game, we're on a 5-game unbeaten streak. At the time of the Minnesota game, we were on
I
a
was like,
three game.
it sure doesn't feel like we're on a 5-game unbeaten streak because ever since that Dallas win all the way back on September, what was it, 18th, we have not played the same since then at all. We've just been playing very lackluster on our defense. We're giving up late goals, zero communication, no urgency, and it's sad. It's it's honestly sad that we
Well,
have not improved.
well, didn't Pablo bring that up, Christian, or someone
He
ask
did.
about it?
Yeah. And he didn't give any excuses, which I think was good. Obviously, a focus going into the playoffs here. I think, though, the work that they put in defensively showed over the Minnesota and the San Jose games because there were several moments that during like how we played during Austin or against Portland or even Dallas, where the mistakes that the backline had made would have led to goals, but something that he changed in the strategy and or the mentality of the players, I want to give credit to both, changed so that we kept a clean sheet for 2 games in a row, which I want to I want to know when the last time that happened.
Yeah, that would be an interesting find because, I mean, the the amount of clean sheets. I guess I'm not too worried about clean sheets because I just need goals, and
Exactly.
that's supposedly why
Absolutely.
we got Chicho, for example.
We haven't had 2 clean sheets in a row since April of this year.
Wow, that's a
The Columbus and then Chicago, where we tied Columbus
mhm.
and then where we beat Chicago 4-0. That was the last time we got
Oh,
2 clean sheets in
oh,
a row.
maybe it's a pattern. The Illuminati. um, yeah, this is this is what I'm most frustrated about. So going to what Pablo kind of didn't give an excuse. Um, I'm kind of tired of the whole we need to get mentally ready for these games. The players obviously weren't mentally ready. We need to make sure that they're ready. How many times are we going to hear these kinds of excuses? Like, how many times do we need to like? I don't know. Where am I going with this? Like, I want to
The
say
first time it's nice, the 15th time it's like, okay, come on.
Yeah, it's like
We're being a dead horse.
how many times have you taught mentality to these guys then? So is it a coach problem, player problem? Where's the problem at?
I think that um oh man, US men's national team fans are going to understand this analogy. Pablo's trying to find his balance between a Pochettino and a Berhalter mindset, where
Yeah.
he wants to be cool with the guys at the same time he wants to crack down and be tough on them. Arguably, that's what makes Pablo a much better manager than Berhalter. Now,
Mhm.
Pochettino, we'll see with the upcoming fixtures because, quick side note, U.S. men's national team training today, they were asked how the training session was, and they're like, this is the most intense session we've ever had on the national team,
As it needs to be, as it should be.
quick side note and quick thought for people, do you think Pochettino's going to be a better national team manager than he was a club manager?
It will take time. It will take time.
Don't have that
But
much time.
yeah, don't have that much time, but you never heard about that kind of dog mentality when he was over Tottenham Hotspurs. Just saying.
Exactly.
But
So,
anyway, back to Pablo, where I think obviously, but I don't think he wants to buddy the team. I think he wants to stay on good terms with them, and is trying to figure out how to do that while keeping that dog mentality. Which honestly,
Exactly.
give that would be a tough thing to do as a manager.
you know, I'm wanting, longing for is a coach that just yells at his players. I don't know, maybe because that's the kind of
Had that though.
well, no.
I was like,
We
we had Petke.
no.
Was
Pecky was stupid. Sorry, Pecky was like an airhead, just yelling. He was just saying, run back, or move forward." It's like
yeah,
give me like substance. Sorry, that just totally slipped off. We'll call it a Freudian slip.
well, like the other past head coaches were none that would yell that it was knowledgeable yelling, if that makes sense. Jason Christ, I feel like, is the only one where he would yell and it actually made sense that what was coming out of his mouth.
If he yelled, because
If
I don't
yes.
recall him being very aggressive. Like I'm one that I need an aggressive
Yeah.
coach to say like come on, like getting him riled up. It's like
Well, like if you watch the Hablo con Pablos, you get that occasionally. Pablo doing that.
but I feel like he has his pet key moments where it's just like yelling just to yell. I mean, because when he yells, yes, you're like, really? Like,
Yeah. So
I mean,
it's good on occasions. It's good on occasions.
that was just my little spurt on. That's. I just wish we had a different style. That's all. I like a more aggressive coaching style. This whole meta world piece kind of like transformation that Pablo went through after a player. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but before we conclude on this Minnesota game, obviously we got to talk about the elephant in the room. The very end of the game, Brian Vera. This is not the first time where we've seen something like this happen. Obviously, Houston last year, where he got super upset and he got his red card there. Do you feel like, because there's been everything on social media where people are saying we shouldn't see any more playing time of Brian Vera. This is just him losing his cool. I think Brian Vera is still a solid defender. I think Pablo and his coaching staff just need to have a strong, firm talk with him about all this and his actions moving forward.
I don't think it's an elephant in the room anymore. I think it's something that we as fans reacted first emotionally because at first glance of that clip, you didn't see it happen. And you watch it again, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, nobody's arguing against it.
Yeah.
I think not only the coaching staff needs to talk to him, his agent needs to sit on the side and be like, dude.
Yeah,
come
correct.
On.
Yeah.
It needs to come from a more stringent place because obviously anything that what happened before obviously hasn't stuck.
No, it hasn't. Which gets into something I want to just quickly mention. I totally understand leagues having their own rules, their own disciplinary actions for certain stuff that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever happened to just going with the laws of the game and just red carding, suspending the person for the next game and calling it good? like we have there's the argument that over the weekend the Austin player totally taking out
in the
the
LA Galaxy.
yeah, where it was a rough tackle.
Yeah.
It was
Absolutely.
serious foul play,
Mhm.
and for me, that's it. Serious foul play, and that means it's a red card. Great, he's suspended for the next game.
Mhm.
Why argue for more suspension? Because oh, he was going in way too hard. Well, duh, that's what the red card is for. Is to say you went above and beyond. Boom. Now going back to the Vera thing,
Yeah.
granted, there's one angle that was zoomed in that saw him spit. From that angle, you can't 100% tell me that he was going to spit at that player.
It was the player turned his head, in my opinion, at the right time that Vera, his spit was able to hit the guy's face or wherever he hit him. It's unfortunate. We live in a day right now where we have VAR. If this was prior VAR, Vera would still be playing. He would not have this 3-game suspension, and we would be all hunky dory. But it sucks. It sucks that we're in this age of VAR where the ref can go check those kind of things.
Actually, I don't think he would have been playing. He would have gotten his second yellow, and he would have been suspended. He would have been red carded anyways. But um, I don't know. It's going back to your guys' point. Yeah, someone needs to have a talk with Vera because we've had players like this in the past. We've had even Kyle Beckerman was like this.
Well, what's today? Today's a Wednesday. I listened to ESPN 700, and Pablo was on there with Spence, and Spence right away asked Pablo about the whole spitting incident with Vera, and Pablo said, "Yeah, I had my talk with Brian over the weekend prior to the San Jose game, and Brian realizes what he did was wrong, and he apologized to his whole teammates, and he owned up for his mistakes." So
I mean,
it's like yes, I see like yes, he owned up for his mistakes, but I'm just scared that we're going to see this action, this domino effect happen once again because the same thing happened last year. So
I, I hope that it doesn't keep happening.
obviously, he's a great defender that we need for this team. But moving forward for these next 2 games, it's Philip Quinton and Justin Glad who need to step up big time.
I guess maybe we could have this talk right now. Quinton or Vera, because Quinton is, I think, is playing really well right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When Vera becomes available and everyone is healthy, who do you have as your pairing center backs? Because I'm hoping at some point that Javane Brown kicks it into gear and becomes our starting right back.
As we thought it would be.
Well, I mean,
as it should be.
It should be. I mean, we also have Bodie, remember?
But still slowly coming back from injury.
Right.
And Bodie's a solid bench right now. I think he's my most improved player of the year for RSL by far. Like there's no question for me. But in the case of the center back situation, I think it depends on the game. Quentin's been playing his heart out, and if Javane Brown kicks into gear, I would do a Glad Quentin center back situation.
Yeah, I have to agree with Christian there. Like obviously come playoffs, because Vera's not gonna be back until the second game of the playoffs in that second game. So it depends on who we're playing. Obviously Minnesota, Vancouver, Colorado, any of those teams, we gotta look at film, who he's gonna match up well with. But right now at the moment, I want to see Quentin still play in that right back spot because that's where he has been the most comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That so I guess now we've come up to a situation where we now have multiple right backs or multiple center backs. we have options now,
which we were struggling to find at the beginning of the season, big time.
Yeah, so it's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
but yeah, it depends on the day how everyone is feeling, how they want to play. So, great. Minnesota game's done. Let's dip into San Jose. How about that?
Absolutely.
San Jose Part 2. This was interesting. Not gonna lie. One, I think all of us were nervous. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
Because compared to the first time that we played them, Jeremy Obobisi was back for this time around, which made me kind of nervous because Obobisi, Espinoza, Lopez, all dangerous up top. But the big one that I guess didn't surprise me, but surprised other folks was Chicho. Chicho not getting the start on this one
That was a little weird.
Yes, that was weird.
because we saw, like we mentioned in the Minnesota game, he did not show up. Passes were terrible, not there at all in the Minnesota game, so he gets benched.
Do you think that's why he got benched though?
I want to say it's maybe for the fact that I guess the trend that Julio's been on for his goals and I guess his aggression that he's been on lately.
I want to get inside Pablo's mind because I don't understand it.
And there's he should have started Chicho, my opinion, because he broke Julio's groove.
Yeah, because Julio did not play well.
He
In
did not
fact,
show up at all.
not at all. In fact, he was the worst out of the whole team.
I was gonna say the Thought Mob ratings are off because I would dare say Chicho had a much better game than Julio.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Agreed.
One of the things that's frustrating about Chicho right now, I've mentioned this before, he's kind of playing like Messi at PSG, where
Yep.
we need Messi at Barcelona or Messi at Inter Miami out of him right now. And I don't know if there's something in his contract, if he wants out. I don't think he wants out of Salt Lake.
No,
Um,
I don't
there's
think
just
so either.
there's just something that's quite off, and I don't think he knows what's going on.
Well, actually, Marcos mentioned that Pablo had talked about it, didn't he? About Chicho being in this funk.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, Pablo mentioned also ESPN 700 that he said right after he's come out of suspension and injury that he had a talk with Chicho and he said that he's been more focused. He said Chicho owned up that he's been mostly focused on his stats and all that at the beginning of the season, but now he's more focused on his team and trying to improve the team as a whole. But have we really seen that since he's come back though?
We've seen hints of it. Moments of Chicho's best play is when he's being selfless, selfless with
Like,
selfless with the ball, and
like
when he creates chances, those are my favorite moments of Chicho as of late, where he creates the chances, but also when he takes the smart shots as well. And it's
exactly
like,
like
okay, because Marcos sits next to me at every home game, and I can read the game pretty well. I'd like to think. Like Marcos listens to my commentary. I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen, and it happens. And when I see Chicho, I'm like, oh, there's a good shot from Chicho, and he takes it. Awesome. Other times I'm like, ooh, don't shoot, don't shoot. And he shoots like, ugh.
no,
That's all.
exactly.
That's all those. All those.
I want
What we call it? Video game years. All your manager years.
no,
Oh,
I want the kind of Chicho that we saw when he came off the bench against Portland. Just that player
mm.
that contributing to goals, helping out Diogo, not just being so self-centered and just wanting to pad his stats. Like, yes, it's awesome. Like you want to chase after the golden boot, but you need to own up. Like that's long gone. That's Benteke's world that we're all living in right now.
Well, I
You know
mean,
what kind of killed Chicho a little bit because he was starting to get his groove back when that goal that should have broke the record got called back as an own goal. I think that messed
yes,
with him royally, which
yes.
sucks because he didn't deserve that.
Let's. I don't want to focus on it, but let's give more credit to that because I think that's a killer mentally because at that point I think he thought he had loosed the chains of at that point it would have been like a 2 month drought.
Mm,
And he thought, boom, all right, I broke the record. Now let's start kicking into gear. Let's focus on something else. That
mm,
record is still hanging over him with one game left, and I bet you that is what I think everyone's gonna want to try to help him do that. If we get a
mhm.
PK in against Vancouver, you bet your bottom dollar who's gonna be taking it.
Unless
You heard it here first.
he gets subbed off like in Austin.
Can you imagine? But
He was
this,
pissed.
He was.
yeah, but this San Jose game, we didn't. We obviously we came out different, just like we mentioned Christian before. We came out different against San Jose, but coming out different against San Jose was
Mhm.
the fact that the team was playing with a little bit more urgency, right? And that urgency caused us to have a lot more opportunities. I think we had a lot of opportunities.
We did. We had a ton of opportunities. We went to honestly with a pretty good mentality. It was sloppy, but it was a good mentality. I think Pablo probably correctly said, "Hey, this game, if we secure this tonight, we get home field advantage, which we
Yeah.
have not had in such a long time
It's been
in
a hot minute.
playoffs.
It's been a hot minute. Something that Christian mentioned in the Minnesota game was we saw Crooks being in that 10 role. The San Jose game totally changed. We see Diogo playing that 10. Luna was back, which was necessary. Luna, such a good game playing on that left mid. And he obviously he came up through the San Jose academy, and I thought he'd be kind of nervous playing against, I guess, former coaches, former guys that he knew. But he's like, no, I'm gonna show these guys up that they need me, and he put the team on his back in this game big time.
Yeah, our left side did really well, and on top of that, we saw the Javane Brown get a start, Palacio get a start. Which, by the way, side note, Palacio, I thought he was injured a couple weeks ago, and they're like, yeah, he won't be back for like a while, unless a while went like super fast. All of a
No,
sudden,
because he no, because he got the start against the Monarchs several games back, and then he obviously got playing time against Austin, and then
and then I don't know what universe I'm living in. But what was really important in this game for me was the fact that our defense, our midfield more specifically, were able to hold Espinoza, Lopez, and Abobise.
Yeah.
yeah.
Those
Exactly.
three are brutal.
I was gonna say that's probably one of Ibobi's worst games of the year,
Yeah.
and no fault of his.
No, and that's why I think Ojeda got Fought Mob Player of the Match, because Ojeda just controlled that midfield, and that's what we need to see from him every single game. That's what's so frustrating, is the inconsistency of this team.
Yeah. Agreed. It would be nice to see that, but I just like that dual partnership that we saw, that connection with Ojeda and Luna, that they were able to take the reins and see that this team was struggling big time whole first half, beginning of the second half, be like, yeah, we need these crucial 3 points because we're in a drought and we need this home playoff. We need home field advantage big time. When it comes to the three in the midfield, Luna, Diogo, Dominic, are those three that you'd want to see start game in and game out, obviously for the last game and then moving into the playoffs?
I think so.
You wouldn't want to see Crooks.
Though if I saw Crooks in the middle instead of Diogo, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, I agree. And you could interchange them both right now, which is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, I would even say put Diogo in second half because of his speed and more agility against a tired defense. So,
Absolutely.
Overall, this game was RSL was on the front foot the whole time. Just that we just couldn't get it into the back of the net. That's how I saw this game.
For me, it was obviously a win, but did it feel like a win? No. There's still a lot of areas that we were very vanilla in, that we need to improve, that we're just not prepared at all when it comes to the playoffs, because we barely beat a San Jose team who's in dead last. They should be relegated.
Here's the thing, though. You can't teach mentality. That's
No,
that's
no,
all in the players, and I think that's
obviously
that's the only thing that's lacking for me is mentality, is the win mentality. So
absolutely.
That's a Pablo Mastroeni quote right there.
You're welcome.
It. Thank you, Pablo. That's a great quote, though.
It is.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with this win against San Jose, you know what that means? As it stands, if the playoffs were to start today, you know who we be playing, everybody? Houston. We have a problem.
Our best friend. Yeah, let's a quick overview. We're like, holy cow, we're running out of time. This is crazy.
So right now, of course, LA Galaxy, they have the number 1 seed locked in. They are not, nobody's beating them for that. LAFC number 2 at 58. Sounders right ahead of us at also at 56, just because of that goal. Oh, no, because of wins. And then Houston right behind us at 5th at 51 points. Colorado at 6 at 50 points. Minnesota at 49. Vancouver at 47. And then Portland, 46.
So,
dude, I love the West. Such a competitive.
It's great. And so with this, RSL does have a chance to be in second if everything goes our well. Well, let's talk through it real quick. So Vancouver LAFC have a game in hand. so they play this week.
Yes, correct.
They
Sunday.
play Sunday. There we are. Sunday. If Vancouver wins, Vancouver moves up to 50 points, but puts them in 7th because Colorado has more wins. And LAFC stays at 58 points going into decision day, which means if RSL can get all 3 against Vancouver, LAFC loses all their points.
But do you see that happening? LAFC plays San Jose for their last game.
Crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. So if all that happens, we get 2nd.
But realistically, I see RSL getting 3rd because you look at Seattle's last game against Portland. Yes, Portland has been struggling in their last few games, but Portland is going to be coming out there hungry because they want to host in that wild card matchup.
Portland has to win out. Well, actually, here's the thing, though. If Vancouver wins against LAFC, that puts Vancouver at 50 points, like I just said. But Minnesota is 3 points ahead of Portland. So that means Portland has to win. Like, they have no other choice but to win.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to be watching that game.
But even if that happens, they will not get out of wild card.
Yeah. So Portland is locked in there for that wild card, which really sucks. I can't. I don't understand how a team that good in attack is all the way at the bottom in a wild card position.
Hey, I don't understand why RSL drops so many points as well. I mean, and we have a decent team. It's just way of soccer.
Opponents that are most likely for RSL to match up with is possibly Houston, Colorado, Minnesota.
Yeah, and Vancouver. Vancouver wins out.
Possibly.
Okay. Hey, you have to name all the possibilities.
Come on, don't be cocky.
Yeah, come on.
I'm just really hoping for a Rocky Mountain Cup in these playoffs.
Ooh.
Well, look, we're gonna be playing either one of our hugest rivals, either Houston or Colorado.
Yeah, those are the most likely. For sure.
So that's pretty intense. Do you know what also is intense? Are these end of year nominations? Let's
talk about that.
Let's throw these down for a minute or two. So we have, how many categories are there? Let's see. One, two,
damn categories.
Right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 11. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11. 11 categories. Holy crap.
You get a nomination. You get a nomination. You get a nomination. Everybody gets a nomination.
9 of which are for teams. 2 of them are for referees.
And don't get me started on coaches. Well,
we're going to
22 out of the 28 coaches were nominated.
All right.
Even if you have a losing record, you're still coach of the year.
So we're going to just talk about the RSL nominees. We're not going to get into every single category because we'd be here for another hour. So for MVP, the RSL candidate is obviously Chicho.
I think that's a solid no at this point.
I'm scratching my head.
Unfortunately. You'd nominate Dominic if you could, Marcos. Come on.
Yeah, Dominic. Coach of the year. We only have one coach, so
and that's arguable.
Oh, I was gonna go to Olave.
Dummy.
I would say that's arguable with the improvement between last year and this year.
But
the inconsistencies are going to kill him.
Yeah. So for me in that category, real quick, I think it's going to be Chris Armas, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going Columbus.
Wilfred Nancy?
No.
That's a cop out. That's a cop out.
Quit Utah and get up, man.
Impact Award. So Audi Goals Drive Progress Impact Award. I have no idea what that is even supposed to mean, but Matt Crooks is not nominated.
I think it's helping out your community.
Oh, okay. Weird because McMatthews usually for that award. So Matt Crooks is up for us. Newcomer of the Year, Catranis for us. And I think, and Matt Crooks is also on that list.
Possibly.
Possibly? I think no. Who do you think, Christian? You mentioned who you thought was going to win.
For newcomer of the year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Luis Suarez, easy. That's not even a question.
Yeah, I agree with that. Comeback player of the year, we have no one because no one came back. So, young player of the year. All right. Is Luna on this list?
He
Luna.
is.
Oh, he is.
Luna.
Oh, this was
Luna.
is this
Luna.
stop it. Is this the 22 under 22 list?
No. That's a different list.
Okay. All right, so Luna is on this list, new young player of the year.
Correct.
Does he get it though?
Yes.
I think there's a lot of Miami love right now, and honestly, Diego Gomez is probably going to walk away with him.
No. I don't get me started on the 22 because I feel like if Diego Gomez won that award, then Luna should be winning this award.
Well, we could talk
We'll
about
find
it for a minute, but defender of the year.
Justin Glad?
No. It's gonna go to Jordy.
Nah, it won't go to Jordy.
No.
No. I don't even know.
Camacho.
Yeah, I don't know. All these awards are already rigged. Goalkeeper of the year. Zach.
I don't know. Zach has done nothing.
Is this another one where one keeper from each team is on the list?
Feels like it.
Seriously.
We love you, Zach, but you weren't that good this year.
And not to be, I would say maybe Zach Steffen. He's been decent.
But goalkeeper of the year? Ugh.
I
don't know. I honestly, I think it's been kind of a mid-year for all MLS goalies.
Yeah, looking at it, yeah, it's pretty big. Then referee of the year, assistant referee of the year. None of you listeners care about that. We know who they are, but yeah. Anyways, what else did I have on my list? Oh yeah,
So let's do some questions.
oh yeah.
Okay, here we go.
You almost forgot.
With
Rapid fire.
with one game left in the regular season, would you consider it a successful season? Highs or lows?
Oh, I didn't see that question.
That's a good question. I'd say overall, yes. One of the most frustrating parts about this season that people are going to remember, though, is the inconsistencies. But when you look back on paper, where we are on the table, yes.
Do you know what? I agree with that because when I try to think back about the 2009 season when we won, I forget about how lousy of a season we had,
how terrible we were, how we barely snuck in,
and then all you remember is us winning the championship. So, I think this is it was a good season. It was a very good season compared to past couple of seasons. The fact that we got home field advantage this year for playoffs was a huge step in the right direction. So, and yes, previous episodes we've been pretty negative, but I think right now, taking everything into consideration, positive.
Yeah, I think definitely with having home field advantage, I think that's what makes it a successful season, icing on the cake. Next one, if we played Houston in the first round of the playoffs, are we cooked?
No.
Yeah, no. In fact, I would say because recently they haven't had Ache.
That's I did forget about that. I would say yes and no. Yes, because they have our number. They know what to expect. No, because I think RSL will have learned from their mistakes. And I think with having that home field advantage will help big time.
I think, that home field advantage, I think us as a crowd, I think we're so anti-Houston right now. This is going to be like our LA Lakers kind of game where we're like, everyone just boos the flip out of everyone.
Okay, here we go. How is Diego Luna not number one in the under 22 rankings, everybody?
Media bias. And a little bit of inconsistency in his play as well.
Yes, stat-wise, he should have won for sure. But Diego Gomez does play well, and I think consistency, media bias, nepotism. You choose. You choose any of those excuses, but yeah,
one player is about to go to Europe. The other one's going to be stuck here in MLS for a while.
Look, I think there's a deeper argument in there. Yes, I agree that I think people think that Diego Gomez is more prone to go to Europe than Diego Luna. And it could be because what Christian said is his inconsistent play. His stats are there, but it's inconsistent play.
Agreed. Do you guys think Dominic is a better player than Gomez when he started last year?
Look, I'm going to speak to this first. Yes, Dominic has started off very well, but I think it's because Dominic was already playing at a high level with his team in Europe, whereas Gomez came from an off season into playing into MLS. And I think if I'm not wrong, Gomez's very first game that he ever played with us was against Vancouver in Vancouver, so on turf, where he's never played on turf. So he got a dose of like a bucket of ice water.
Correct. Yeah, obviously stats wise, he's not better than Gomez, but it's going to take time because we saw that with Gomez when he was here. It took time, and then obviously beginning of the season up until he left, he was scoring goals, he was assisting. So give it next season, and we're going to see the same kind of consistency like we saw with Gomez.
Bold prediction there, Cotton.
What are you, a prophet? Gee whiz.
Regardless of our opponent, does RSL go beyond the first round?
I think so. If it's Houston, it'll be a dang good series.
That's going to go to 3
We
games.
can do it.
If
If
it's also Colorado, it's going to be a dang good series.
If it's Houston or Colorado, we go to 3 games on the series.
Mm-hmm. I think it doesn't matter who the opponent is this year. It's just the fact that we have home field advantage. It's going to give us the upper hand. We're going to go to 3 games if it's a tough opponent, but going into that next round, that's when it's going to be tricky. So,
because we'd be matched up against an LA team.
Yeah,
LA team.
Yeah,
the Galaxy.
Well, there you have it. Those were some solid questions. Thank you, guys.
Well, you don't want to do all of them? I think we have like 2 or 3 more, don't we?
No, that was all of them.
Why do I feel like that was only 3 questions?
No, that was like 4 or 5.
Dang. Well, keep them coming because seriously,
those are fun.
Yeah. And let's throw down a quick opinion about this international window. The U.S. What do they got? They have Mexico and let's see. Got to look up and Panama. So these are CONCACAF matchups. They're friendlies, so no weight behind them. But what? All right, that's what I was going to ask. What do you think should be shown in these 2 friendlies from the U.S.?
I want to see better coaching because we're gonna have Pochettino.
Honest, but really, I mean, it's Pochettino's first real test, and these are not small opponents. Even on the like definitely not in CONCACAF, but even like if European teams came to play Mexico or Panama, they'd still have a run for their money. So these are tough teams. Now, arguably out of the 3 best CONCACAF teams, Mexico, US, and Canada. Canada's the best right now, I would still argue, but it's still going to be very heated. Yeah.
Obviously, the last time US Panama played, USA lost 2-1 in Copa America. So I'm hoping USA has learned from the mistakes from the last time that they played. And with Pochettino coaching his first game, he uses these substitutions in a right pattern altogether. So we shall see.
Do we give Pochettino some leeway if there are some mistakes? Do we give him a break, or are we expecting high success from the gate?
Ooh. Are you talking about us personally or U.S. fans in general?
Well, I guess it's just us 3 talking. Let's talk about what you guys expect.
I expect there to be some growing pains. I think he's going to finally see what this team feels like on the field because he's going off of basically a roster that was handed to him. Like, here's some players you need. Here are the players you need to call up. And he's like, okay, great. Let's just roll with this for the first one. I think after these 2 games, we're going to see some different players included that should have been, including hopefully a Diego Luna. With the injuries plaguing the U.S. men's national team right now, I think he should have been called up. And it would have been good, I think, arguably, to help keep him fresh for the upcoming playoffs.
Yeah. Like we're gonna have a lot of the similar players that played in Copa America playing in these two friendly matches. So I don't expect any wild changes going into this game, but it's gonna take some time learning from these mistakes and then going forward. But quick shout out. Speaking of international calls, let's give a shout out to Gavin Beavers, who got called up for the U21 team.
U19, I thought.
U19, excuse me. Dominic going with the Polish team. So that's exciting for them.
Is he senior or U20s again?
U21.
U21. So that's exciting for Dominic getting that international experience. So then eventually he does make the senior team. Exactly.
And let's not forget Gozo also got called up.
Oh yeah.
So
I did forget. Sorry, Gozo. Good job. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, so we have a handful of guys that are gonna get ready. Um, so we have a break, RSL break. So give me one game you guys are gonna watch this weekend or this week before next episode. That way, we can give some people some idea of what to watch.
LA Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch some LA Vancouver, but on top of that, I gotta celebrate my birthday by watching Argentina win tomorrow.
That's a good way to celebrate, my friend.
Absolutely.
And I think by the time next time we record next week, I think it's the U.S. Mexico game. So I'm gonna be watching U.S. Mexico.
USA.
You know what? All right, this is gonna sound weird maybe to you, Christian, but I think just the past couple of days of Pochettino just talking about the team and him training the team, my heart is starting to turn. My heart is starting to feel a little bit more red, white, and blue, just a little.
Oh,
Hey, you can support both. It's fine. I've done it for years.
Look, it's not about supporting both. It's the fact that I was just so anti one because of culture.
is it the fact that we have an Argentine head coach?
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Maybe. It could be, but
yeah.
it is what it is, guys. This has been a lot of stuff. We could have gone a lot deeper, but holy cow.
It's
I
okay.
don't know.
Everybody just take a break. No RSL this week. No,
No breaks.
Just relax. Watch some international ball. Watch some Vancouver. Watch some LAFC.
Watch all the soccer.
Watch all the soccer.
Relax.
These are World Cup qualifiers we're watching in South America, right? There's no relax.
No.
Relax.
No relax. Christian says no relax.
I will find you, and I will beat you.
Ooh.
Okay. Last thoughts before we close.
Home field advantage has a good ring to it. I like it. Just home cooking.
Excellent.
Yeah. I'm getting excited for the playoffs. This is gonna be a good one.
Okay. I got nothing else besides go watch soccer. Go RSL. And Marcos, send us off. I was just about to end it, but Marcos, send us off.
If you guys are not already, head over to Instagram, head over to Twitter and X, follow us at the RSL Bros. Listen to us wherever you catch your podcasts on Spotify or Apple, and watch us on YouTube as well.
All right. That's it. Peace out.
Adios, everybody. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye.